So thank you once again, and let the Quantum 2023 begin. Yeah, so Dr. Mayank Agnihotri, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Jiten Kumar, for introducing us. So I think all of you must have gone through our leaflet. That was less or more given the what kind of problem, what kind of the challenge we are facing. Let me introduce you a little bit about Agnitya. Agnitya is a hedge fund which is based in Europe, and we are actively involved in different exchange traded uh, activities. Mostly we trade into the mid frequency range and I would say that low frequency range. We are the quantitative hedge fund. We develop the strategies to exploit different market and economical scenarios. We are a mathematical fund actually, so we are quite involved in development of the mathematics, especially in the world of stochastic and nonlinear dynamics world. That touches the field on the com- on the computer science as well, actually, because anyway, mathematical models without a niche computer advancement, actually, let me put it in this way, that without a niche uh, computing power and of course the technology are meaningless. So I think before wasting any further time, for these 45 minutes will be distributed as like this. That in the first few slides, I will reintroduce the problem, and after that, Dr. Arun Kumar will take it over, and we all will be here for last 15 minutes to answer your question if you have. Uh, Apart from that, we will be organizing the regular QA sessions every week, and so don't feel that you are left alone with the issues if you have. Uh, Arun, I'm going to present it. Yeah. Is it my? Do you all see my screen?
Not now. Yes, yes, now it's there. Yes, it's there.
All right. So let me go to the full screen mode. I hope it will be easier. So actually, you might have gone through that we are using some terminology, and I am sure that all of you must have come across this terminology in your career and your lifetime by now. So first, I just want to introduce what is the time series. Time series is actually nothing but a observed market instrument price in a different time in the different time frame. Yeah. Like here, I am just presenting you the time series of a Nasdaq 100, which is observed every after 1 hour, and this shows you nothing but a future Nasdaq 100 futures prices actually over the time reference. Uh, so I mean the time series I guess is known to you. Now what is more important here that in which format you are going to get that time series. Yeah, time series is always delivered in the data format which we call candlestick data format. Candlesticks are nothing but referring the time frame. Is if I refer I have a time, I have a candlestick of every hour. It means that I am showing you the four observables which are observed in a 1 hour. Yeah, so those observables are, just take example here, at 16 o'clock on this date, when the hour start, that is your open price. Yeah, when the hour ends, that is your close price. And meanwhile, in this given 1 hour, what is your highest and what is your lowest price? Yeah, so that you see these four numbers, you will get it in candlestick format of the market data. As I said, that reference frame could be different. So for a sake of developing the strategies into different trading environment and different latency rate, we develop the signals with 1 hour, 1 minute, half an hour, different time frames. Yeah. So for this hackathon, we are delivering you the time candlestick data in a different time framework. So all you are going to get the same kind of candlestick market data, but in a different time reference, like 1 hour, 30 minutes, 1 minute, and actually, if I'm not wrong, that if you want actually less or more, you can with the 1 minute data, you can regenerate the data of end of the day, 4 hours, whatever the time frame you like. But up to the minimum time, we are offering you the 1 minute data. Actually, we can offer the tick data size, but it would be too much for you. And given the fact that in the tick data there is a lot of noise, which would be difficult for someone who is not from the typical finance world, it is difficult to clean up that data, and that will make your life quite hectic. And that's why we are not going to share you the tick size time data. Rather, we are going to give you the time data, candlestick data with the 1 minute time reference. Yeah, I hope this format is clear. If not, then you can all, I mean, those who have the question can always write in the chat, and we will be happy to answer the question regarding the time data. So the question is now what we are looking for in this one. Actually, we are behind to find the patterns which are observed due to different, maybe observed due to the different economic environment, or due to regular.
I think some audio issue. Yeah, Mayank, you are not audible. Dr. Agnihotri, you are not audible. I think you have muted yourself by mistake. Dr. Agnihotri?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you were not audible for last few slides. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Sorry for that.
You were muted actually somehow by mistake,
Okay.
or you yourself muted.
Yeah. So let me start again. I don't know how far I was. Did I describe them, at least the market data? How far I
Yeah.
was?
Just
Maybe
share the
last slide
screen.
only, I think last slide.
Start from pattern.
Okay. So okay. So let's say that what we are what is pattern actually as
One slide up, please. One slide up, please.
yeah, okay. That one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, that we are behind the patterns. Patterns are nothing but events, but those events should be repeated events, and their static nature that shouldn't change, right? And that would actually call the pattern. Yeah, because you know that if any event does happen, irregularity, and actually there is nothing like irregular. I mean, in every irregular word you have the regularity. But nevertheless, what we are behind that, if you can find the events which are whose occurrence you know very well, you know that you know what triggered those events, and when those events will be triggered, then actually this is a pattern, right? So by nature those patterns should be observable for you, especially if you are going to find those patterns, then they should be observable by you, right? And they should be repeated. That is the first criteria, I would say, that whatever you claim as a pattern, that should be a repeated pattern, and that you should know when they are going to repeat. Yeah. Second most important part is that, of course, you know that every event is may not be economical viable for us. Only those events which can bring some significant return, they are viable for us. So here I'm going to give you one very simple example of a DAX future. DAX 40 is a um, German index actually, which is nothing but an aggregated number of German industries, 40 German top industries, and here I'm going to show you a pattern actually, which is observable, and that is and this you can use that pattern as your kind of a brainstorming if you are going to find the patterns by any mathematical tool. Actually, we can talk about that later. So here, let me give you a very good example. Here, as you can see, that I buy a DAX future, yeah, at a DAX future at the last trading day of the month and at the last hour of the month. Yeah. So local market close at 17:30. So what we do, we buy DAX future at 17:30 at the close price. Yeah. And we hold that position overnight. And when the first trading day of the next month arrive, on the very first hour at 9:30, yeah, we just sold it. And here what we are showing you, actually the one candlestick is referring for half an hour. Yeah. So actually this one candlestick is nothing but a half an hour observables. And here actually, as I mentioned before, that it at this candlestick you should observe the low, high, close, and open. So what we do, that we buy at open, and sorry, we buy at close, and here we sell at close at 9:30 at 9:30 our stick. You see, so this is the 9 to 9:30 stick, and we are just what we bought here, we just sold here, and this is why I'm calling this as a pattern, actually, because this is a successive event. Actually, you can observe that this is repeated event, and it happened every month, less or more, not less or more. It is actually, it happened every month. It's what we called it. The occurrence of that event is more than 90% actually. So that you see that in a 1 year, I'm going to get at least, out of 12, I'm going to get at least 11 successful events where I'm going to observe this behavior, and that has a return more than 6.7%. You see, so that's why this, and actually this is the pattern which will economical viable for us, because it it does every month, less or more, in a given month, given a year, and moreover it is economically viable because we get good return, uh, which we can economically actually use it. uh, Now the question arises actually that you can always, here what I do, that I bought it and I sold it at the next day. Actually, I'm holding my position 1 hour. What you can do, but you can also find the patterns in a in a given short time, right? You can say that I will buy certain day at 5:30, and sorry, at 4 o'clock, and will hold it for half an hour and just get out from that position after half an hour. That is fine. That is fine pattern for us. All you have to do, that if you are going to hold that position for 30 minutes, then the occurrence of that event should be more regular, because otherwise, that there is no sense that for us waiting for one 30-minute event where we are going to get some meaningful return, and we occupy our trading system for just for one event. That is not viable for us, and that's why we have shared a table with you, that if you are going to hold your position, that what we call the holding period, for a given holding period, you have to earn given return. That would be our accepted pattern. Yeah, i hope this is clear. Yeah. So I have already explained you that why this is a financial advantage for us. That what I call it economic behavior. What you can hear, what I did, that here I first bought it and then sold it. Actually, it is not only the pattern you can get it here. So listen, what I'm going to do here, I am trying to find the upward moving pattern. What you can do also, you can find the downward moving pattern. Yeah. First you sell it and then you buy back. So here you are selling at a quite high price, and you are going to buy back at a lower price. And here what I'm trying to find a downward sloping pattern. So you can try to find the upward sloping sloping patterns. You can also try to find the downward sloping pattern. Also you can try to find a mixed pattern that, okay, for a given time that it will be slope will be downwards, for a second time that slope will be upward. So I mean, you can also find the mixed pattern, yeah. But be clear that if you are going to claim one strategy, then you have to be very clear that how many events you are going to put as a pattern in that strategy. If you say that only going long, and that's it, this is my one strategy, it is acceptable for us. If you say that no, it is only not only buying but also short selling is our strategy, and you are going to put those two events in a one strategy, that is also acceptable for us. But all you have to do, that you have to be 100% sure that your what we have behind for that occurrence, actually you have to be 100% sure that your occurrence is as per the table which we are going to share with you, yeah. So I think that's all from my side. Yeah, one more quite important thing, that we are going to share you the candlestick data for 1 minute and onwards. And actually it had the four different observables: high, low, and open and close. But when you are going to develop the strategy, make sure that you can use the four observables as an indicator. But when you are going to calculate your return, you should only calculate your return either on the open or on the close price of that candlestick, yeah. So we are not going to accept if you will say that that we bought at this our highest price. Okay, where is the highest price? Actually no one knows that where is the highest price. So how we are going to test that? So that is not acceptable, yeah. So when you are going to calculate the return over your strategy, please do calculate your return on the either on the open price or on the close price. I hope that explanation must be very clear to you. If not, as I said, that we will be there for the next 3 weeks to answer all of your question if you have. You can use different mathematical tools. As I said, that you can start. I mean, yeah, I don't want to put any predefined mathematical methodologies for you actually, but for just uh, for just a shake of your future reference, I would say that think about that this process is a stochastic process. It has a stochasticity. It has a randomness. Either try to get the randomness, or from the random process try to find the drift of the randomness and find the pattern over that. Rest of the mathematical tool, it is, as I said, that it is open. Do you use whatever you know, yeah. Thank you. I think that's it from my side.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Varun, I think you can take up now.
Okay, sure. I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes, it's visible.
So I'll go
Yeah.
down. So I'll start from here.
Yes.
Okay, so let me take you through like other aspects of this Quanthon. So registration open for this event on July 1st, 2023. And then basically still it is open that people can still participate, so they can join actually. So this is not a last date of like registering in the event, so they can still register. But today we will share the data basically, so you can access the data now. And then we will have some question and answer sessions in between, like these are the dates, and these dates are also available on the website. I'll show you. So you can join on these dates to again ask if you have some questions in your mind, or you are facing some let's say doubts. And then the event will be open for like submission till August 26, 2023. So you can submit your ideas, your code or data with this date, and then we will intimate the shortlisted team by August 31st. And then those team which basically are going to are shortlisted, they will present their idea on September 2nd and 3rd. So these are basically Saturday and Sunday. So those who are working, essentially they can also find some time on these dates. And then the next week will be the prize distribution. Like this is again, I think Saturday, September 9. So this will be the format. So for example, we are going to provide each team a team ID. So we will email you. So everyone, the team leader is going to receive the team ID. We will send the email to all the team leaders. And then you have to basically choose a team name. So we are going to put it on the certificate. So essentially team name will be on the certificate that you belong to this team. And then the team need to submit the following data by August 26, 2023, like team leader's email ID again, so that it should not mismatch. Team leader name, team ID that we are going to give you, that you have to submit with the submission, and team's name. Essentially, this will go on the certificate. Then success ratio. So this is like how basically what is the ratio of your pattern. So you have to submit this, and then you have essentially, let me, since other people are joining, let me quickly admit them. Okay. So you have to submit the success ratio, that may be 80%, 82%, whatever comes here, and then a zip file containing the code. So you have the freedom to write your code in different language, whatever you can choose, whatever you want, Python, R, MATLAB, C++, whatever you want. And then but there's this is the requirement, that the code should be in such a position that it can read the data which you are going to use to find the pattern automatically and produce the desired outcome. I'll show the format of the outcome later. And further, it can give the desired output on the test data. So test data will be in similar format. It will have the column names, same column names, but only if we change the just file name. So somewhere, for example, in Python, you know that, okay, you can read the data from your computer or some folder. So just we supply the file name, automatically it should be able to provide the desired outcome just by changing the name of the file. So that is the requirement, so that it will save your time as well as our time to basically, just sorry again, I need to admit people, that is the okay. Okay, so we are back. Okay, so hope you understand this point. Next thing is that the output format is as follows. So you have success ratio. So success ratio you have to give it. You have to supply it in the, when you submit your, let's say, output, that time also, and it should come through your code also. And then you have this table. So on your total data that we are going to supply you, you should have your pattern in this format and your trades in this format. Like you have trade ID, you can give like different trade ID here, just you can provide the numbers. And then you have trade entry time. So this is the time when you are going to take the position. For example, as Dr. Mayank discussed, that okay, you take the position at the close price of the end of the month, actually end of the month, last trading day of the month, and this is the, basically you can say, last trading time, 5:30 p.m. This is the trade entry price, and then you are going, this is the position that you are buying. So buy, sell, you can have buy or you can have sell. And then trade exit time is the next trading day in the next month, basically. So this is 29th of January 21, and this is the morning itself, and then the next trading time in the month. So this means here you buy and here you sell automatically. So this is the you sell on this. So you buy at 13,389, you sell at 13,494, and then your return is nothing but 13,494 minus 13,389 divided by the 13,389, and you convert into percentage. So in this way, however, you are holding your position on Saturday and Sunday, but this is considered like a overnight only. So this is there is no trading on Saturday and Sunday. So that's why there is a difference of, if you see just quickly that, okay, there is a difference of 2 days here. You are 29th of Jan, and then you are, let's say, basically 1st of Feb or 2nd of I think this has changed a little bit. So this you are basically next day, right? 1st of Feb, essentially this means 1st of Feb. So here pattern is different, 29th of Jan, but this is 1st of Feb. And so this is 0.78%. So you hope you understand this. This is nothing but just very simple, 13,494 minus 13,389 divided by 13,389 into 100. And this position is overnight. So overnight is, you can consider this like maybe 1 day. You can consider just maximum. This can be considered like 1 day investment only, or just overnight, or even somebody can call it just 1 hour investment, or even maybe less, since this is just last trading minute and the opening price next day. So this is, and so you calculate it for on old data, and then you get all these returns. And then I'll take you to the website just quickly, since it is also important to see on the website. So you go here, home, and then you see that, if you see that, okay, this is important here. So if your holding period there is overnight, so if your holding period is overnight, so then your threshold return should be 0.50% or more, right? You can count this 1 day. And so if you do based on this, you can basically compare here that, okay, how many times it is more than 0.50. So in this data, actually this is like every time it is more than 0.50%. But if you add more rows here, then obviously sometime it will not be more than 0.50. So what we are saying that if you, let's say, count these numbers, so this ratio should turn out to be more than 80%. So you are basically, your success ratio will be more than 80%. 80% per year, basically we are saying 80% per year. So hope you understand this. So you have to supply this table in your output. So you have to give the buy. So you can put here buy or B, or you can put here sell. If, let's say, so hope you understand there are two positions. One is long position. So long position basically explore, you buy on the lower price and sell on the higher price. That's what is happening here. You are buying on the lower price, selling on the higher price. Buying on the 14,950, let's say 14,953, and selling on 15030. Buying on 15,346, selling on 15,472. So this is a long position. Then there is a short position. In short position, generally you basically earn money when you expect that market will go down. So in that case, you sell essentially. This is called short sell. You sell on the lower price, higher price, and then buy on the lower price. So short sell basically means this is something like you are borrowing from someone, selling it in the market on higher price, and buying it back from the market to return to the person. You can understand in this way. So you earn money when market is going down. So here market is going up, there you earn money by when market go down. So you can put here sell and sell. You can have mixed position also, where, let's say, in the total data that we have given you, maybe let's say 2 years, so you may have 50% time you buy and 50% time you sell, but that should be let's say consistent. So for example, let's say you buy on Monday, sell on Tuesday, then you, let's say, short sell on Thursday, and then return the asset on Friday. So it should be consistent. Then that can also count as a pattern. So this can be said as mixed pattern. Moreover, we are going to provide you two index data like Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 futures. So you can see on the website. So I'll take you there once again. You will get 4 time series of Nasdaq 100 and 4 time series of S&P 500 with frequencies of 1 minute, 5 minute, 30 and 60 minutes. You can find pattern on either of these. One team can submit up to 5 different patterns for the competition. If like somebody can find, so you can submit 5 different patterns. So basically you are, so the, let's say, success ratio. So we are going to judge based on the success ratio and based on the table that is given here. Let's say here that okay, you satisfy all these constraints, and then whichever has the highest success ratio, essentially that will be the winner, unless there is a tie or something. So you satisfy all these criteria, holding period and then threshold return and then the occurrence of these things, and then the ultimately this become the deciding factor, success ratio. So if a person find, let's say, 5 strategies where he find the pattern more than 80% and satisfy all these criteria, so all the 5 things can go in the competition as a different strategy. So we are going to award not the team but the strategy. So you can submit more than one strategy and then your 2 strategy will be in the competition, right? Or you submit 5, so 5 can be in the competition, right? Now, and then the strategy can be based on buy only, as I explain you that you can have a long position based on sell only, this is short position, or a mix. And remember that the return and success ratio will be calculated on open or close prices only and not on high or low prices. That since low and high prices you cannot predict in any interval, that keep changing. So sometime, let's say 1 hour interval, it may be 9:30, 9 to 10. Sometime next day it will be 9:35. Next day it will be 9:38. So it is not like, but open and close remain same. So 9 opening means 9, 10 closing means 10 in that particular interval. So that's why we are going to. It is very important to calculate the basically success ratio, returns, everything based on open or close prices. So in that way, the interval get fixed. So again, I'll take you the website. So again, this is input data I have already explained you. And then you have here, this is the like you calculate. So here you see that most of the time this is more than 0.50% here, only once here. So out of 11 data points, only once it is down. So this means you have out of 11, 10 times you have more than 0.50. That is the criteria here. So it satisfies all the criteria. This table satisfies all the criteria. For example, holding period, 1 day or overnight is the only holding period. The threshold return is more than 0.50, 10 times out of 11. That is shown here. And then the minimum occurrence per month is 1 there. So since every month you are taking 1 position at least here in this case. So that's why this satisfy all the criteria. And then what else? So you have success ratio is 90.90. So let's say what happened that let's say one team get 90.90%, another got 95%. Then obviously 95% is going to be the winner, and we are not going to look these numbers. So more than 0.50% means 0.52 also satisfy the criteria, 0.55 also satisfy the criteria, 0.59 also satisfy criteria. So only counting will be done. So it doesn't mean that okay, somebody say that okay, in my, let's say in I also get let's say 9 times out of 11, another get 10 times out of 11, but the returns may be more for that person. So then success ratio will be there. So we are not going to decide based on, let's say somebody has 0.55 or 0.60. That will be counted as one success. Somebody has 0.55, another has in that interval 0.8. Again, that is going to be one success. Unless there is a total tie of success ratio, then we will see the cumulative return. like somebody have higher returns, then we may see basically the cumulative return. But so that you have to remember. Another thing is, let me take you. So here you will going to submit your, let's say, code and basically other thing. We will enable this form. This is not enabled right now. And then we come to download. So you go here, and then you can see that there are Nasdaq and there is S&P 500. So if you click on Nasdaq, so you see that there are 4 datas here. You can download these data. So this data is for, let's say, 1 hour interval. So you can see that the first entry is the time, and this is the basically you have date and time. Then what happens, you have the open price. This is in particular this interval open price. This is the close price. This is the high, this is the low, and this is the volume. So many, like some participant ask whether you are going to get the, let's say, bid ask data or not. So this is the only data. We don't have bid and ask. These are the actual trading price. These are not bid or ask price. These are the actual trading price. So you can use these. Further, I think somebody asked another question. So I'll take that question also. So you can see that there are 6 columns here, or 6 columns, and this is 1 hour data. Let's say 6, then you have 7, you have 8, 9, 10, and so on. And then you have this data. And this means that if you see this data, let's say on, this is I think 2nd of January 2011, you have,
Yeah, Dr. Arun, is it possible to zoom this little bit? Or
yes, sure, I'll zoom it. So control, okay, let me see, control plus. I think it is little zoom, I think now.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so you can see that, okay, on 2nd of January 2011, this is the, in this particular interval, let's say this is 6 p.m. 1800, and then next time is 1900, 7 p.m. So in this particular 1 hour window, on the same date, 1 hour window essentially. So this is the opening price. So you can say that opening price basically means exactly 6 p.m. what is the price that this particular future has. So you can treat this as a, like, just some asset. You need not to worry about future or any other things. This is just some asset. And then this is the high price in that particular 1 hour. So you don't know exactly at what time it attained the high price. You don't know that. You only know that this was the price, highest price that was in that particular interval. This was the lowest price in particular interval, 1 hour window. And then this is the close price. But you know this. Close price essentially means the last tick before 7 p.m. So before next hour start, this is the last tick. So you know this. So you can assume that this is exactly 7. You can assume, since there is not much change actually generally, unless there is some catastrophe happen. So you can assume this is the exact price at 7 p.m. or just the last tick before 7 p.m. and this is the volume. So essentially you are going to calculate your return based on open or this price, but not based on this let's say high or low. Since high and low time you don't know, it may be 6 let's say 6.5 or 6 hour basically 20 minutes, 6 hour 30 minutes, 6 hour 31 minutes. You don't know actually. So that's why this is not this you cannot use. This is this keep changing with time, but these two things are attached with the time. You know that this is 6 p.m., this is 7 p.m. You can roughly approximate this 7 p.m. So that you have to remember, that you have to calculate your return based on this. So I hope you understand this data. Next, you can see another. Let's say this is for, let's say, 1 minute. This is big file, so it is not opening, but you can open it. This is a small file, it will open, I think. This is 5 minutes. So you see that, okay, you have 6 and then you have 605. So in this particular interval 605, this is the open price, and this close price basically means the last tick before 605, and so on. So essentially you can understand that for a lower frequency data, let's say high frequency data, you can generate a low frequency data automatically. You can generate yourself. Just it is some manipulation of the data. Let's say you have a tick by tick data, you can construct data minute by minute out of this, hour by hour out of this. So we have reduced your work. We have given in data in such a way that you need not to do that work. You can directly use, you can start directly finding pattern in 1 minute, 5 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour. So you need not to manipulate it. But you are open. If you want to, let's say, use some 2-minute data, you can generate it from, let's say, 1 minute frequency data. If you have something in mind, so you are open to that also. You can generate 3-minute data yourself, 13-minute data, whatever you want. So but you can actually find pattern in these 4 series to save your time. And then similarly, you have, let's say, S&P 500, you have again 4 series. That's what I'm saying, you have 8 series. You can use either, and you can find more than one pattern in any of them. Out of 8 series, you can find more than one pattern in any of them, whatever you want to find. Let's say one pattern means buying on Monday, selling on Tuesday. If throughout the data it is fine, this is one pattern. You have another pattern, short selling on Thursday and return back on Friday. This is could be sell only strategy. This could be another pattern in the same series. And you can have another, like buying on end of the month and selling on the first day or something, whatever. So you can find whatever you want to find, and so you can submit 5 patterns. And then you have prices that we have already cleared. You can see here. So you have first place 50,000, 40,000, 30, and 10,000 each for 2 runner-up. And then timelines again you can see on the website. So you have to submit your code and data by this, and we will meet you again on these dates. So I hope this clears everything. So now I think we...
Yeah, there is a relevant question, Dr. Arun, about the volume of a candle. Yeah, you didn't perhaps explain. There, the volume. Yeah,
I'll take the questions.
Yeah. Please, Amit. Yeah.
So now we are open for the questions. So you please go ahead.
Okay, first question from Min Pika. Yeah, regarding about the recording. Arun, will you provide the recording?
Yes, I think we can upload on the website.
Yeah.
Or we can provide some link.
Yes, that's fine, I think.
Questions from Ajay. Ajay, yes, no, we do not have the order data for each transaction but what we have the traded volume over there. Because since the data is a historical data, it's not the traded price, so we do not have the order size over there. Madhav, no, you will not get the ask, bid, or last traded price here. You do not need a bid ask here because since we are not going to get the pattern on the high frequency range, and since it's a future which has a very small bid ask spread, so you do not need that bid ask data for that purpose. You can use just simple historical data, and this is not a last type price as well. Dhruv Singh, yes, you can use a 1 minute candle, open or close price. You can use 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, or 1 hour, or you can make your own candlesticks from the 1 minute candle data. You can make a 5-hour candle, you can make a 4-hour candle, whatever you want. Test data is at dot text format. Yes, I think Dhruv, you were not in the beginning. The hedge fund name is Agnitya Quant Solutions and Asset Management GmbH. It is based in Germany. I think I have explained the volume. What the volume is basically in the candlestick. It is the amount of traded contract of that particular future. Is that clear? If it's clear, Dhruv Singh, say yes. Yes, that's guaranteed that the column name in train and test data will be the same, 100%. Yes, you have to develop a strategy. It's not a just strategy. You have to find a pattern. I'm a strategy based on pattern. You can what you can do. You can also use some statistical indicator or whatever you want. That will be like a that will be like a statistical pattern, and there are some behavior pattern which you directly observe based on some economic phenomena. So yeah, behavior pattern or statistical pattern, whatever.
I think there is one question from Kushal
E-
that we just have to develop a strategy. Probably he wanted to be clear on that something. Probably he missed the missed a few words from us. That
I
is a
think
question from Kushal.
I
At
think that's what I just now explained. Yes, you have to deliver strategy.
okay,
About the holding period of a strategy is variable. I did not understand the question. Arun, can you please open the mic of Yaduru? Yaduru Sri?
Okay, so just a second.
So
So
the
Dhruv, can you
holding
raise
period is
raise your
asking,
hand?
right? Whether it's a variable or it can be changed. Like now it's 1 hour, then again he can hold for 2 hours. Uh, did you get a myth? So he's asking whether
Mm,
it's a fix that it has to be for 1 hour always in that.
No, 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 no. Whatever. I mean, but it should be static. Like suppose you say there is a one strategy and I have to hold it for 1 hour or 5 minutes or maybe 2 hours or 4 hours, whatever. But it should be constant for that strategy, that particular time, because otherwise we cannot guess when to hold for 1 hour or there is some indicator, or if there is some indicator which is which tell us the time how much we should hold, then it's
Yeah, if
also
there
fine.
is a set of rule basically
Yeah.
which can tell that how much we can hold, then it can be variable as well. But there should
Yes.
be a rule for this.
Madhav, no transaction cost you can take zero at the moment. We don't mind. Final pattern count should be consolidation of all four files or unique from four files. Sorry, I did not understand the question.
I think with different files. So see, you can use any one of the files, not necessarily four. You have to consider. You can pick any 1 minute data, or you can pick 5 minutes data, or half an hour data, or you can make your own new file with some other, let's say 10 minutes data or whatever from 1 minute data. So not necessarily that you have to consolidate all four files or anything. Yeah, you can pick just one, you can make your own another one file, so it's up to you. I think that was the question.
Okay.
So so if you have questions, so you can ask actually. So you can unmute yourself and you can ask. Yes, Madhav, go ahead. You can unmute and you can ask. You are not allowed to. Okay, how is this possible? Actually, it is. Amitji, we are not able to hear you. I think you are muted. I'm not sure why it is happening.
So when was the last time I spoke?
Just actually maybe now itself, but I'm not sure. Actually, how to unmute actually?
Good evening, good evening. Now I am allowed to
Yeah, yeah,
unmute.
okay.
Okay, Madhav,
Hello,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Madhav. So basically, I want to ask that the chart says maximum holding period, threshold return, and minimum occurrence per month. Let's say my alpha is a 30-minute alpha only. So do we have to hold for 1 hour, 4 hour also, because it says minimum occurrence per month? But I am always closing in my strategy. I'm always closing after 30 minutes. Do I also have to take care of the minimum occurrence for other times as well?
No, it is means if you are your stage is for half an hour, so it means you have to take care only the half an hour row for on the table. It means your minimum occurrence per month should be a 20. It means that 20 times it's your pattern is occurrence of your event or occurrence of your pattern is at least 20 times in a month. And
Okay.
minimum return is I think it's mentioned is 0.2. I don't know. I don't know how much it is. 0.2 means 0.2 per event per transaction
Okay.
per trade. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so Vandita, please unmute and please ask your question.
Yeah, sir, I was asking whether do we have to use all the 4 or 8 files given in the data, or can we just use any one file to find the pattern?
You can use one file, two file, three file, four files, as many as you want out of eight. You if you can find in a one, good. Two is also good. Okay, let me tell you one thing. This is quite basically there are two data set actually in principle, Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500. What we have here to make your life easy, we have given you different frequencies: 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minutes, and 30 minutes. Or you can take the 1 minute data and you can make all the other three files from 1 minute data itself. So we have just made your life easy so that you don't have to do create anything any other frequency from yourself. Suppose if you want to deal only with half an hour data, why you should read the 1 minute file and then create a half an hour from that? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So you can search in one file basically. Out of these 8, you can pick any one. So no issues.
Yeah, let me add it here. In case if you have already a strategy on a small 1 minute holding period, or let's say that even 30-minute holding period, and you want to develop another strategy, go ahead, use another market data, develop another strategy. So we are, as Dr. Arun said, that we are free to submit more than one strategy. If you have already one strategy on one index, you can always free to, I mean, yeah, go ahead for this second strategy for the another index, or maybe on the same index. Yeah, it's up to you.
Okay, so we have Kaushik. Can you please ask your question? Kaushik Lade.
Yeah, hi there. I think Amit sir and Jiten sir, I think answered it. Like we can use it any file to kind of find the pattern. But just one more question I have is while evaluate, let's say whenever we will be submitting the results. So let's say there are two different data sets, the Nasdaq one and the other one. So, do we have to submit the patterns from two different sources, or it should be combined one? Like Nasdaq one has these many patterns, and the other one has these many patterns. Because let's say if I select any one file from all the 8 files, how will my score will be compared to everybody else's? So that's the question actually. Because I feel that so yeah, sir, go ahead. No issues.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. Please carry on.
No, I think because since we are evaluating scores from everyone, so it has to be uniform, right? Like either everyone has to submit from all the two sources, or let's say there has to be some segregation, like these many people found these many patterns from Nasdaq, these many people found these many patterns from let's say the other data sets. So are the combined ones. So we can use, or we should be at least stick to both sources, or maybe per sources how many patterns we found out. So how is that submission should be?
Yeah, okay. Let me answer this thing. Since we are evaluating the pattern, so it means that you can submit pattern is with the evaluation with the combined base. It's not like we are separating Nasdaq and S&P separately. What we have given you two data set. Maybe someone is very comfortable finding a pattern in Nasdaq and someone is comfortable finding in S&P, but it will be combined. It means if your pattern successfully satisfy the criteria, it will be considered. Doesn't matter it is from Nasdaq or S&P, that we will not be differentiating.
But Amit, whether it will be tested on the same data set?
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
if
yes.
it
If
is
it is
on
the site,
Nasdaq, then it will be tested on Nasdaq, right?
exactly. If it is from Nasdaq, it will be testing on Nasdaq. Otherwise, it
Yes.
makes no sense. It makes otherwise
Otherwise,
it
it makes
makes
no
no
sense.
sense. No
Exactly.
sense. If it is
Yeah.
from Nasdaq, it will be tested on Nasdaq. It is from S&P, it will be tested on S&P.
Yes.
So Kaushik, one more thing, that both the Nasdaq and this S&P 500, the series length is same. So essentially, so let's say, uh, so if your pattern satisfy, let's say the criteria on S&P 500 and its frequency is 90%. So this 90% will be your will be used to compare for other people whether they use Nasdaq or they use S&P 500. But if somehow it happened that okay, one person found a pattern on S&P 500 and exactly occurrence is 90%, and another person found a basically pattern on S&P 500, its frequency also 90%. Like both two index are different, then what we will do, we are going to calculate the total return, cumulative return in S&P 500 and Nasdaq, and then we will compare that to decide the basically the winner.
And that's why we have mentioned the relative return in percentage. So it doesn't matter if percentage return will be not an absolute one, the percentage one, that should matter.
Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you.
Piyush, please ask your question. Unmute and ask.
Sir wanted to know, like, I have a strategy and I don't want to keep my holding period as static, but I have a clear defined exit for that thing. Will that work? Like, I don't want it to be static. Holding period, I don't want it to be static, but I have a clear defined exit when it will be exit or when it will happen.
Ye- So,
E-
so let me
Mhm.
take you to the website. Okay. So let's see here. Let's say we come here. If you see here, so what we have given. So we have given that your maximum holding period is fixed. Not exactly it should be 30 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. Let's say in this first row, it could be 5 minutes. It could be 1 minute, but maximum can be 30 minutes. So you can keep changing it. It can be dynamic your holding period, but it has to be below than 30 minutes. So that's what we are saying.
And there should be a rule for this. Yeah. I mean, it's not like you can randomly choose, isn't it, Amit? Right? There
Yes, yes.
should be a
Yes.
rule that how you are choosing that holding
Holding
period,
period. Yes, yes. That should be consistent.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it can be dynamic. Yes.
Uh, I'm not saying that the period will be defined. I'm just saying that there are certain conditions when I and exit.
Yeah, I think Piyush, let me answer that one. Yeah, I think as Professor Jitan said, that you can define your set of rules of taking the position and liquidating the position. We don't care. Yeah, the rules you're setting, your rules must be static, and once it is there, we don't care that if you have to hold it for 1 hour, 2 hour, that doesn't matter for us. For us, that if you are saying that you are going to just hold it for 30 minutes, then you should be, number of the trades are for us, it is actually much more important. So suppose you said that you have developed that strategy, and that strategy are based on some statistical indicator, and those statistical indicators give you the pattern of suppose yeah I suppose 2 or 3 days. It's only 2 or 3 pattern in a day. That is fine. in that case, you can put up your strategy in any of that time period. For us, actually, if you are crossing the minimum threshold of the number of the trade, that is much more, that is important, and that is actually the sense of setting up the number of the trades in a giving specific period. So all you can say that, look at that, in 1 year, I have generated so many signals, and suppose 10 signals, it is actually too low. Let's say that you have, based on some statistical methodology, you come up with the generating regularly 50 trades in a year. That is fine for us. I mean, then you can say that, yeah, 50 trades, and you have this success ratio, and then we and so for us, occurrence, and occurrence is much more important. Then we are not going to put you in of those brackets, actually, that you should have a, if you are saying 30 minutes, then you should be having exactly liquidating your trades in 30 minutes. No, that is not a motive for us. If you are saying that you are going to liquidate in 30 minutes, then actually it is, then you have to be respect the timeline, actually. So I mean, you can go ahead, you can say that you can, but as I said, that you should have a minimum minimum. If you say that 12 trades in a year, that is fine for us. In that case, then you have to generate the, what the expected we are expecting the return from the 12 trades, you see. So if you are saying that you are going to generate only, yeah, uh, so actually number of the trades what you are generating in a year, that is much more important for us. So just think about this table in that sense. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
And also for the variable time holding time period, I mean, you have to really consider the return also. Like for example, as is given, like if you are holding for 30 minutes for one particular trade in the same strategy, yeah, just that's what your question was, that your strategy follows some rule. Sometimes it holds the trade for 30 minutes, sometimes for 45 minutes, sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 4 hours. Is that what the question was, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't have any issue with that. Then your the whole strategy is just follows like a one pattern, and if that pattern is successful 90% of time, and each holding period is surpassing the minimum threshold return, then it qualifies as one single one. Doesn't matter if it is a, it's is your holding period is static or your holding period is dynamic. We don't care, unless what we should have the correct rule when to enter and when to exit. That should be static. That should be static. Rules should be static. Rules should not be variable.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we have Sajjad Sahir Ali. Please unmute and ask your question. Hello, Sajjad. Okay, so I think he's not here, or
You
maybe.
can read the question if you can read, Arun.
So question is, do we find pattern in the existing data or future pattern?
Yes, the pattern what you will finding the historical data which is available to you, and it will be tested on the data which is not seen by you. It means it doesn't matter if you can find a one pattern on your historical data, but it does not work on the unseen one, then it is not called a pattern. It means that there is some manipulation in the historical data. You did some put some condition over there, but it is not working for the unknown thing. And if it does not work for the unknown thing, then it is not a pattern. Thing is, the data you have provided, data you are provided, you will find a pattern based on 7 years of data, and then we will test it on some unknown data, but it will be static because what we have given to you, we have provided you the data from 2011 to 2018, which was a very settled period where there was no mishap, there was no big events which were really creating a problem in the financial market, like COVID and everything we have omitted. And we will test your pattern also on similar type of data, right? We will certainly will not be using the COVID area where the things were completely different, where On that part, every strategy or every pattern are completely failure. And if you can find something like that which works for everything every time, like doesn't matter what type of economic scenario or in the world events going on, then you are the boss. Did I answer your question, Sajid? He's not there.
I think he may not be here.
Okay. Maybe go to the next question, Arun.
Yeah. Okay. So as another question is by Ravi. So it is, what is the file format? So this is .txt file, text file. Then you have Priyanshu Agarwal. What is the meaning of volume of a candle and how is it useful to us?
I think I explained before. Let me do it again. Volume in a candle is basically the traded quantity or traded lot of that particular index future between that candle. It means if it is a 1 hour candle, it and the volume in a 1 hour, this much quantity has been traded.
How is it useful? Can we enlighten a bit or?
Yes, I can enlighten how it is useful. Then it is up to you how you can make, because there are some statistical indicators which are based on the traded volume. So if you want to use some statistical indicator, then it may be useful for you. And similarly for this low and high price, that's also useful for the statistical indicators. I think there was one more question from Dhruv actually. But before that, let's go here. Upload the PPT on website. Arunji, will you do that?
Yeah. We will upload it. Also, we will upload the whatever this session, the link there, so you can see there also once if you want to see again. Okay, what else?
It's another question, I think, by Gaurav.
Gaurav,
Last
this is
one.
okay. And what about the minimum occurrence with a dynamic holding period?
Oh, that's a good question actually.
Yeah, that
That's a good
was
question.
actually the earlier also he tried to
Yeah,
ask, which is a bit confusing.
that's a good question. Uh, we need to think about it, because for the dynamic holding period, minimum criteria of this pattern, I mean, successful one should be the 80%.
So maximum holding period, whatever is there, I mean, we can perhaps go with this.
Yes.
Anna, if it is like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, but 1 hour also, so 1 hour will be considered, right, from the table that.
No, the thing is, if it is a, yeah, that's right.
Correct. So the
Yes.
maximum you have in this dynamic setting, according to that, this occurrence should come.
Yes, if you have one for 1 hour and another for 1 day, then your occurrence should be once per month. I think
Yes.
that's the 1 day. Yeah,
That's a 1 day.
that's the 1 day. I think we should mention on our website also this thing
Correct,
again.
correct. We'll make it clear. We'll
Because
make it clear, Gaurav, on the web page as well.
yes, this thing did not come into our mind that we can have the dynamic holding period as well.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I think we very briefly touch over that. That you can submit because less and more if your holding period is dynamic, but for us you must be taking the position on some static rules. So we are going to test your strategy based on static rules. So in that case, your as we said that the minimum occurrence of your strategy is actually 80%. So it doesn't matter if you even if you have a dynamic and I think we will appreciate that if you will have a dynamic holding period, it is fine for us. But even that should have a minimum occurrence of 80%.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
there it doesn't matter actually. And then because we are going to judge your strategy over the